So I'm going to show you my very first flip first. This one's kind of cool. I mean, it's all right. So this house right here on the corner, this is our very first flip that we ever did. This is the one I was talking about earlier. We bought it for $330, sold it for $530. We gutted it. The roof was still good, but the whole outside, we didn't really do too much to it. We changed out that door, put new windows in it, painted all the brick gray. It was like green before or something, I don't remember. But the yard looked a lot better when we finished it. You know, this was back in 2016. So it's kind of funny because if Alex flicks the camera the other way, here's our next project. This is the Okawana project. And we're not going to jump out here because there's not much to see right now. They just started framing, and then we kind of had to wait on our floor system, which is that big pile of wood you see right there. It just came today. But next to it are two other houses that we've built. So these are the Okawanas. We literally now have 3 in a row, lots that we've bought and built. This was the first one right here that you're seeing in the frame. This was our first basically new build house that we ever did. And then we ended up getting the lot next door. So we redesigned the house, made it a little bit different, and came up with this. And we actually got a buyer on that house while we were under construction. So they kind of chose some of the features and finishes, and you know, it wasn't our taste, but they're writing the check, so they got what they wanted. And that was kind of like a custom kind of build because they put it under contract while we were still kind of like coming out of the ground. So that was an interesting project. And I'm going to take you now over to a couple others that we've done. And so you can kind of see like this whole little neighborhood right here. Anything that we can get our hands on in this neighborhood we'll buy. We just know it. We know the neighborhood's great. And if you kind of pay attention in the background, you'll see big houses sprinkled in with all these little original ranches. Every now and then you'll get a nice 2-story that people have remodeled. But actually that's what we're going to right now. We bought these 2 houses up ahead. One lady called us up on our sign and said she had a house she wanted to unload that needed some work. So we bought it, and then we ended up getting introduced to the neighbor by her, and we bought the neighbor's house. So a lot of word of mouth. Guys always ask me, how do I get my deals? A lot of word of mouth, believe it or not. You know, networking is everything, not only in just this industry, in any industry. Knowing people, talking to people that are also in the industry, getting your name out there, it's everything. So like, I can't tell you how many deals we've gotten, how much money we've made just off of a $100 sign in the yard or talking to the neighbors. So this is a house we did back in 2017. This house we did as a full gut flip. The smooth part over there on the right, we kind of did a different siding to show a different feature, but that was just roof before we pushed the house over and added onto the garage. And we put that little roof out front and everything. We did a ton of work to this house. It's really cool. It used to look like this one just right next to it. So literally you can see side by side before and after. You see how this one just has the roof over the garage and the other one didn't. So it had all these weird blocks and stuff. We took all that stuff out and made it looking a lot more modern. That house we sold for $700,000. And so just over here on the right is another one. This one was a split foyer house, meaning like you walk in the front door and it's got a landing, you can go up or down. So it's a smaller home, but it ended up being really cool. We put that big door in there to make it look kind of fun and give it a little kind of pizzazz, and just remodeled it and rebuilt the deck. Sold that house for $600,000. So I'll drive you up through another part of the neighborhood here where we have some more. We kind of skipped a street. We're going to loop back into it, and then we're going to go across the street to another project that they're working on right now. We're back on the next street, and I'm just driving past the other builder who built that modern looking white one over there. She's got another one right there. We're literally one street over, and let's see. We're going to pull up on our properties in just a second. Actually, I'm going to zoom you through one more that we've done right here. The first house that we did coming back into this neighborhood after we left East Atlanta is just right over here. I'll show it to you guys. But right now we're pulling up on Moran, which is where we've done one house so far. Now we have another one, and we're closing on a third in like 2 weeks. So like I said, you know, it just kind of happens that way. We get all these different houses just sprinkled all over the same neighborhoods, and we just love it because we can just work in one area. Here it is right here. This is one we built that is the last version and my favorite version of the 2 Okawana houses. This house turned out really cool because of the kind of picture frame around the front there on the top, and then the cedar wall. The second Okawana house was supposed to have that cedar wall, but the buyer didn't want it. You can see across the street here, and next to it, they've got all these old ranches. This is what these lots used to have on them. We knock them down and we build these beautiful things. And then just up here on the left, we've got another one. See all these old ranches? And then it's like 4 or 5 old ranches in a row on this street, and then boom, new house. And right next door is our lot. So we've already got this house cleared out. We bought this one from another couple who bought the house to build their own personal house, got in over their head, got a hold of us and said, I want out. So we bought it, knocked down what they had there, and we're gonna start over. We're in the kind of planning and permitting phase right now. And we're getting another piece of property on this same street very soon. I think in 2 weeks. So you can see this is our hot spot. This is where we build a lot. It's not the only place we build, but we do a lot over here. It's just this neighborhood's been good to us, and we'll buy as much as we can over here. All right, guys, so check it out. We're over here across Briarcliff, same neighborhood, same school district, just across the street, same theme over here. I'm gonna zoom you by a house that we built in 19, I believe. This house was the first version of the Meadowvale house that you just saw that was all green and white. This one right here is the Academy house. This is a pop the top. We took the original house and we ripped the roof off, expanded, and we created this beauty. And all the people in the neighborhood just loved it. We sold it really fast, right for $1 million, I think, just under. And so we kind of used this as an inspo for the Meadowvale house, plus another image that we saw. So I'm just gonna get us turned around here, and then literally right there is our next project. That house I tried to buy from that guy. There's another house over there I tried to buy. You know, another thing that people are always wondering is like, just because you talk to someone and you try and buy their property, doesn't mean you're gonna get it. You know, people ask all the time, like, how many deals do you get? It's like, they say that for every 100 offers you make, you get 1 house. It's kind of crazy, and it's kind of true. Little bump there. So we'll show you this house one more time. You can see a little bit better. Ended up pretty cool. It's got a really cool deck on the back and a big bump out. You can the kitchen's in it, so it's got extra space, more than it seems. So I had a neighbor see that house, saw my sign, and a gentleman, unfortunately, an older gentleman, lived in this house, and he had some kind of health issue, so he could no longer live on his own. So the neighbor got a hold of me, helping out the gentleman who owned the house, and said, hey, I'm going to help my buddy here sell this house because he can't live here anymore. And he kind of wanted me to buy it because he saw our work in the neighborhood, and he wanted us to build a cool house next to his because he lives right there next door. So we'll walk you through this one right now. My framers are obviously working on it right now. I'll give you a quick tour, and then we're off to the next one. All right, so this is Project Chrysler. I'm losing track. This is another one that we knocked down the original ranch, and we designed this house. This is actually a like hybrid co-design of a couple houses we've done before. We like to keep creating new versions of the houses we've done. So this is a new one. I'll show you a picture of it right here. But it's going to be a pretty cool house. Shed roof, so the last one we drove by is flat, the other one's peaked, this one's shed. Most of the rest of them are going to be flat roofs. Shed means they have the roof lines that kind of go like that together, whereas the peaks, you know, they go up like a traditional house like that. But this one's going to be pretty cool. Kind of mix it in with the neighborhood so they don't all look the same. If I could, I'd love to build the same house over and over because it would make my life a lot easier, but can't really do that. It's frowned upon. Let's walk through. All right, so we're walking in the garage. This one's gonna have a 3-car garage. We get a lot of requests for 3-car garages. So this is the first house that we've done a 3 on. In this neighborhood, people want it. So it's a nice big garage. You walk in here, it's a little bit of a treacherous zone. We gotta walk over all this wood. This is gonna be like a mud room, laundry, powder room situation over here. And then same deal. You walk in, kitchen, all in here. Living room back there, dining room right in the middle. We'll have these big doors right here. That'll be a 16-foot door, 12-foot door here. It'll walk out to the backyard. We're gonna bring all this up so we can get a nice flat situation back here for people to hang out on. And then up in the front, we've got a bedroom, bathroom, and then we've got the master suite over there. Obviously, we don't have the second floor yet because it's not built yet. They're working on it. But you can see all the joists going in. So it's just the framing stage. These guys move pretty quick, but it takes time, usually about 3 weeks, and the house is framed. So it actually happens pretty fast. The basement's a little, we don't have a staircase yet, so we'll go to that later, but you can kind of see what one roughly looks like. You know, we get all the foundations and the slabs in the ground, and then these guys go to town putting all the framing together. On to the next. So guys, we're over here at the project that I did for some friends of mine. This is a high-end remodel. This has been 6-7 months in the making. This is a super nice house that we started with, and then they wanted to come in and put their own touches on it. So we like remodeled the entire upstairs. We redid a bunch of touches on the main level. A lot of design work went into the interior of this home, and we did some cool stuff in the back. So this is actually moving day for the owners, so we're not gonna go invade their space right now while they're moving in, but check out the pictures and videos of what we're gonna show you once this is all done. But today's our last construction day, so I'm super excited to wrap this project, but stay tuned. We'll give you some more pictures and vids of what this looks like completed. See you guys.